How's it going, everybody? I'm Ryan from Minus the Gym, and it has been almost 1 year since I uploaded my beginner calisthenics workout video that is now at 1.2 million views. And that's about 1.2 million views more than I was expecting. So I decided I'm going to revisit that video, and what we're going to do is look at the most common question that I got in the comments, which is, dude, are you Johnny Sins? Wait, no, I mean, the second most common question, which is, dude, how do I do this workout without any equipment whatsoever? So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to do my beginner routine with no equipment, and I'm going to demonstrate the workout for you. All right, I was going to shoot this video outside, but it is just way too windy out there, so bear with me. I'm going to find a different place to shoot. Back to the old tripod, but that's what I get for living near the windy city of Chicago. So first, how about a quick recap of my original beginner calisthenics workout video? And that was a circuit of 4 exercises, and those 4 exercises were based on these movements. They were based on pushing, squatting, pulling, and hinging. And the exercises we used were push-ups, squats, pull-ups, and leg raises. Now the downside to that several people, I'm talking probably dozens of people, pointed out in the comments, is that you need equipment. And part of what they want to do is work out without relying on any equipment whatsoever. The first thing you need to know is that only 2 of those 4 exercises actually require any equipment, and those are the pull-ups and the leg raises. While pulling exercises are definitely essential in calisthenics and you shouldn't hold off on buying that pull-up bar for too long, another exercise you can work on in the meantime as a beginner to really work your whole posterior chain, and it won't be a waste of your time, I promise, is working on bridging. All right, bridging is an excellent exercise because you're pushing behind you. It's going to improve your flexibility and mobility for hyperextension of the back, and it's just all around a great strength builder. So let's look at the progressions for the bridge. Start off by laying flat on the floor, arms at your sides, feet should be flat, shoulder blades planted on the floor as well. And what you're going to do is you're going to press down with your heels to raise your hips off the ground. It's important that you're pressing mainly through the heels of your feet because this will activate the glutes, all right, the muscles in your butt, as well as your lower back, which are the muscles you want to first be focusing on in the posterior chain as you build strength for the bridge. Go ahead and hyperextend your back a little bit, meaning there should be a small inward curvature at the lower back. Once you're able to hold this for at least 20 seconds in all rounds of your circuit, you're ready to move on to the second progression. The second progression for the bridge is this move that we call the straight bridge. What you do is you place your hands on the floor beneath you, fingers facing towards your feet, and you're resting on your heels, raising yourself up, pressing into the floor, keeping your body straight. You want to work on opening the chest while simultaneously tensing your core, thighs, and glutes to retain a very straight and tense body. Use this tension to keep your hips level with the rest of your body, okay? Try not to let them drop, and again, target at least 20 seconds in each round of your circuit before moving on. For the third progression, we're going to now put our hands right behind and next to our ears, all right? So this is going to take some shoulder flexibility that you might be lacking, and if that's the case, just be patient with it and hold this position as long as you need to until you develop the shoulder flexibility. Once you're comfortable in that position, press up into what's called the head bridge. As you can see, it's not a full bridge, but you're using strength by pressing into the floor with your hands and resting some of your weight on the top of your head. This will help you gain the mobility and strength, so work on this until you build it up to, again, at least 20 seconds in each round of your circuit. Once you have the head bridge, it's time to develop more flexibility and upper back and shoulder strength by pressing your head little by little higher off the floor. Over time, you'll develop the strength and flexibility to hold it higher for a full bridge. All right, so we're going to incorporate bridging instead of pull-ups. Remember, this is temporary. You should still work on your pull-ups later, but if you don't want to invest in a pull-up bar, work on your bridges. And next, we need to substitute the leg raises. Because while leg raises can be done on the floor, eventually you're going to want to do them hanging. And if you don't have a pull-up bar to work with, then you're going to have to do something different. So here's a different exercise you can use to work your anterior core, and it's actually going to work a lot more than that. It's going to work your glutes and your thighs too. This is called the hollow body position. it is excellent for calisthenics because it translates to many things. If you want to learn handstands in the future and you want to hold a straighter handstand as opposed to a curved handstand, then hollow body is going to be essential for doing that. Another thing that hollow body is great for is any kind of lever or flag, like dragon flag, for instance. If you're holding your body straight and against gravity, engaging this hollow body position by squeezing the core, squeezing the transverse abdominis, the glutes, and the thighs, it helps make your body kind of feel like one solid unit so you can hold it against gravity much easier. Now let's look at the hollow body progressions. Start off by lying flat on the floor. Raise your arms overhead. Your shoulders, arms, and lower back should be flat on the floor. Now tuck your knees up so that your thighs are about perpendicular to your torso, and then crunch up so your shoulder blades are no longer resting on the floor. This is the tucked hollow body hold. You want to work on holding this position statically. This is called isometric exercise. Just like the bridge, you're just holding a single position, and build this up to, again, 20 seconds at least in every round of your circuit before moving on. The second progression for the hollow body is to advance the tuck by bringing the knees forward a little bit so your thighs are no longer perpendicular to your torso. This will make it harder to hold. And then, once you can hold that for 20 seconds in every round of your circuit, you're ready to do the full hollow body by having the legs fully extended. You're basically just crunching up to bring up your shoulder blades and raising those heels off the ground while maintaining straight legs. You really need to focus on three things. You want to contract the abs, thighs, and glutes. Those three things will really help with the hollow body. Also, keep breathing, don't hold your breath, and don't worry if you shake while doing this exercise. It's normal. Okay, so far we've looked at bridging and hollow body and the progressions for those two exercises, and those are going to substitute the pull-ups and the leg raises. So now the workout is going to look like this, where you have a push exercise, a squat, a bridge, and then the hollow body. And again, this is going to work all the same muscle groups, not necessarily the biceps quite as much because you're not pulling, and certain muscles of your back are going to be worked differently, but overall the bridges are hitting your posterior chain, and it's a great substitute. If you're not willing to buy any equipment, this workout is definitely worth trying. So I'm going to change and I'm going to go demonstrate it for you. So let's check it out. After a brief warm-up of a couple minutes of jumping jacks, it's time for squats. So feet should be shoulder width apart, toes slightly out, arms out in front of you. That just keeps you looking ahead. And what you do is you start off by moving the hips back and bending at the knees as you squat down. Now, a lot of people put up a fuss about squat form, but here's the general rule of thumb. If you were to place two lines, one right along your backside and another through your tibia bone, which is the shin bone, both those lines should be roughly parallel to one another. If those lines are parallel at the bottom of your squat, then you're good and you have nothing to worry about. If they're not parallel, then it's time to work on your squat a little bit. But here's the thing, a lot of people, especially on YouTube, like to put up a big fuss about squat form, leaving all kinds of comments, and this is on every squat video I've seen. And honestly, if you're not bearing any weight, like doing weighted squats, you really don't have a whole lot to worry about, especially if you're not overweight. If you're just an average weight person, you don't have a lot of extra weight on you, I wouldn't worry too much about your squat form. It's just going to slow you down and prevent your progress. So record yourself with your phone once in a while. Make sure that those lines are parallel at the bottom of your squat or roughly parallel, and just squat away. Don't worry about it too much. Anyway, I digress. So here I am repping away on squats. This is what you want to do in the workout, and you want to aim for 30 reps. That's a good target to build up to before you advance to a more difficult squat variation. Our thighs are a very large and powerful muscle group, so they're capable of a lot of reps in comparison to all the other muscle groups. And then once I finish this set, what I'm going to do is basically just take a deep breath and go right to the next exercise, which is push-ups. So here we go, I'm done with the squats, and then down I go, and I'm going to get into a straight arm plank. And then this is the starting position. From here, I just bend at the elbows, keeping my body as tense and straight as possible, and press back up to the starting position. For push-ups, we're going to aim for 10 reps at least. before we move on to a more difficult progression. And if you need to see the progressions for push-ups, check out my original beginner calisthenics workout video. I show all the progressions there. So I'm honestly not sure how many reps I've done here, but I think we're at least 10. So I should be coming up on my last rep pretty soon. And once I finish, I'm going to get right into the next exercise. So I'm going to lay on my back and get ready for the bridge progression. For the bridge, remember that the first progression that I showed you is this short bridge, also known as the glute bridge, where we're really just working our glutes and our lower back. You want to build that up to at least 20 seconds, and once you're able to do that and it's too easy, then you want to do the straight bridge. It's important when you do this exercise that you remember to keep everything tense, the core, the glutes, the thighs, and don't let those hips sag, okay? It's critical that you leave those hips at the same level as your torso and your thighs. So now once I'm done with the bridge progression, I'm going to come out of it and I'm going to stay on my back actually, and then I'm going to do the hollow body. And the hollow body is this position. I'm doing the full hollow body hold with legs completely extended. Again, I'm going to hold it for as long as I can until failure, or at least 20 seconds. And once I'm done with this exercise, then the whole round of the circuit is complete. And at that point, it is time for a rest. So you're going to rest for about 2 to 3 minutes, fully recuperate, and I'm going to go ahead and speed things up with time lapse to show you the rest of the workout. So here we go with the second round. I'm doing all my 30 squats, and once those are done, I drop and do my 10 push-ups, I do the bridge, and then I do the hollow body hold. I rest again before starting the third round of the circuit. Now for some people, the third round might be the last round. It depends on where you're coming from as a beginner. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and rest one more time, and I'm going to complete a fourth round of the circuit here. So I'm going to finish up my squats, do my push-ups, get into that bridge, and then go straight to the hollow body, and then I'm done with the workout. So at that point when you're done, just walk it off for a few minutes as a cool down, and then you're ready to go have something to eat. Let's see if that wind has died down at all, because I want to go for a walk. It's still pretty windy out here, but I'm going to try it anyways. Okay, I've been out here for 10 minutes walking and still not a single break in the wind, so hopefully you can hear me okay. But what you want to do is start off with this routine, do it like 3 times a week, okay? And once that starts to feel like you're acclimated to it and it's not too hard, start increasing the frequency to 4 times a week and then 5 times a week. Another thing you can do is also increase the volume by adding more rounds. So instead of like 3 or 4 rounds of the circuit, you can increase it to 5, 6, and so on. So if you've been holding back on actually starting your workout regimen and sticking to it, finding that discipline because you don't want to invest the money, well, now you have no excuse, right? You can do this workout. Trust me, it's effective. It's a great workout, and you can do it without any equipment whatsoever. And as always, if you found this video helpful, please drop a like. That really helps me out. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and stay tuned because I'll be adding a lot more great content coming up soon.